Hari bol. Mata, should I
It's
read?
from the new Chinese Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. The new Chinese Bhagavad Gita arrived from the Hong Kong today, along with a letter written by the president of the uh, Sivananda Dasa. It was also signed by Yashomati Sutta Dasa, the Chinese translator. The whole book is to be done in three parts. These three only the first six chapters. The letter expressed his devotional sentiments. One time you said that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur stated that the two activities which he appreciated the most were preaching in foreign countries and printing books. You are very expert and enthusiastic to do both. So I felt it would give you great pleasure to know that your Bhagavad Gita as it is now being distributed in the Chinese language for the first time. It is only by pleasing the spiritual master that one can please the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, it is very heart of my very soul to serve, glorify, and ultimately please the beloved Guru Maharaja, your divine grace. Ecstatic, Srila Prabhupada wrote to each one of them separately. Awarding Jashamati Shuta Prabhu Brahmana initiation. Prabhupada especially praised him for his efforts, describing it a great triumph and very well done. You told him not to be concerned that there may be some difficulty preaching to the Chinese people. If you require money, it will be supplied. And I am informing Guru Kripa Swami and Tamal Krishna Maharaja in this connection. You simply find out the market and push these books among the Chinese. Mother's call now. He said Krishna had a special role for him. Krishna has designated that you raise them to the higher level. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is to rise them to the higher platform. So Krishna has sent you amongst the Chinese people to save them. So don't be disheartened and go on with the work. You will get strength. Whatever financial help you require,
Ecstatic, Prabhupada wrote to each one of them separately, awarding Jasmati Sutta Prabhu Brahmana initiation. Prabhupada specially praised him for his efforts, describing it a great triumph and very well done. He told him not to be concerned that there may be some difficulty preaching to the Chinese people. If you require money, it will be supplied. And I am informing Guru Kripa Swami and Tamakrisha Maharaj in this connection. You simply find out the market and push these books among the Chinese. He said Krishna had a special role for him. Krishna has designated it that you raise them to the higher level. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is to raise them to the higher platform. So Krishna has sent you among the Chinese people to save them. So don't be disheartened and go on with the work. You will get strength. Whatever financial help you require, I shall see that is provided. As your spiritual master, I have my wholehearted thanks for your service. May Krishna bless you. You have done a great service for being recognized by Krishna and continuing with his work. He also praised Sevananda Shivananda, a householder from America, and told him to see that the work continues, especially by seeing an ideal example by going out and distributing the new book as much as he can. Prabhupada regards this new edition of the Gita as so important that he said it will bring about the downfall of communism. He told us that as soon as people understand a little spiritual knowledge, the unrest will increase. With no visitors, the evenings are quiet and Srila Prabhupada has been reading or chanting. But tonight he suddenly decided to play the harmonium. Not wanting to miss such an opportunity, Krishna Maharaj and I sat behind him to listen. Prabhupada looked over his shoulder at us. I thought he might mind the instruction, but he said to bring the whole and kattalas. We hurriedly brought the instruments and feeling very privileged accompanied him as he sang the Bhagavatamrta. We were also able to record it. Prabhupada is translating like anything now. He ran up to 290 digits on his dictaphone again during the night. In fact, he is doing so much that Krishna Swami feels completely overwhelmed. Between doing the mail and transcribing Prabhupada's dictations, he barely has time to leave his typewriter. A few days ago, he asked me to take over responsibility for recording the conversation and lectures, and I gladly comply. Everything we record is sent to Los Angeles and then made available to all the devotees in movement via the Bhaktivedanta Tape Ministry. So it is a service I am very happy to do. Very good. Next one, country.
May 19, May 13, 1976. Today was the appearance day of Lord Nityananda, Lord Narsimhadev, and everyone fasted until sunset. Due to weakness from his illness, Prabhupada took a small Ekadashi breakfast and then his main meal at sunset. In answer to my question whether Lord Narsimha actually appeared on this particular planet, he replied that he did not think so and said that the Tritas in some, Samachalam, South India, were not authorized. Speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, Text 12, in his class, Srila Prabhupada continued to stress the need for culture. His lecture was short but direct and very much to the point. He made it clear what he meant by culture. The Vedic civilization means everything under rules and regulation. That is Vedic civilization. An animal cannot be brought under rules and regulation. That is not possible. That is the specific. That is the speciality of the human society. That the more one society follows rules and regulation, he is the considered civilization. He gave the English translation of the words which un, un, which unequivocally described the need for regulated life. My dear king, if a diseased person eats the pure contaminated food prescribed by a physician, he is gradually cu- cured, and the infection of disease can no longer touch him. Similarly, if one follows the regulative principle of knowledge, he gradually progresses toward liberation from material communication. No, contamination. Prabhupada repeatedly stressed the Prabhupada repeatedly stressed this point. Unless we follow the rules and regulation, then there is no possibility of curing our material disease. Thus, he also indicated the need for the uh, est- estab- establishment of the society like his ISKCON. The law is meant for the human being. If the human being does not follow rules and regulative principle law, then he is animal. So civilized means to rise oneself from the animal status of life to the human status life. That means rules and regulation. That is compulsory, that is human. Real civilization is how to go back to home, go back to God. But materialistic person do not know this. Therefore, there must be organization, institution to teach the human society how to go back to home, back to Godhead. One again, he repeated his definition of civilization, the unlimited, unrestricted sex life, like horse and dogs. That is not civilization. Civilization, the first of all, to learn how to observe uh, privacy, to come to the point, no sex life. That is perfect civilization, no sex life. Srila Prabhupada has been preaching strongly about rascal scientists and uh, vicious gurus, declaring that really the only way to deal with them is to kick them on the face and beat them with shoes. He says they are simply rascals. He told us the story of a man who ordered a knife from a blacksmith, but who thinking that he could cheat the blacksmith and save the steel, did not give the proper grade of steel required for the cutting it. Naturally, the knife immediately went blunt and was useless. Similarly, anyone who cheats his guru by pretending to be a follower no, in order to receive the benefits of spiritual life without making any specific is simply cheating himself. The real guru can never be cheated. He is simply giving everything and has no self interest. He is already perfect and complete in his relationship with the Lord. May 14th, May 14th, let me know. Okay. May 14th, 1976. Prabhupada continues he in class to develop his theme of analyzing the real problem of life and the cure for it. Shloka 13 is one he could very often. Tapasya brahmacharina samena cha demena cha. So, how to become advanced? These are the prescribed method. Tapasya, tapa means voluntary taking some disadvantage. In this age, it is very difficult, but this is the meaning of tapasya. Voluntary accepting inconveniences. He gives us an example with an encoded, encoded from his own practical experience. When there is cold, one has to take the help of heater. Fire, no heater, no fire, but go deep into the cold water. Of course, it is very difficult in your country because the water is so cold. And if you go deep, immediately finish. I have seen in New York one dog, he jumped over, immediately finished. I have seen it, that is actual fact. Of course, he wasn't recommending that we sit in cold water during winter. But he made it clear that we were to take the vet's statement seriously. It is very difficult to perform tapasya. But the recommendation there is tapasya brahmachari, So brahmachari, celibacy, no sex life. That is beginning of tapasya. Tapasya senam, sema. The control the senses to keep in equi, uh, equilibrium. Equilibrium. Sense may not be agitated. Damenu, even it is agitated by my knowledge, I have to keep down. Just like if I become agitated by seeing a beautiful girl or a woman, a beautiful boy, that is natural. Young boy, young girl, they are naturally attracted. There is nothing surprising. But tapasya means that I have taken vow, no illicit sex. That is knowledge. Even if I am attracted, I shall not to do this. This is tapasya. And because I am no attracted, now we shall enjoy. It is not tapasya. He rescued, he received as that even if it is difficult to control oneself, it can done by practice and by remembrance. I have taken vow before the deities, before fire, before my spiritual master, before the Vaishnavas, no illicit sex, no meat eating, no drinking or intoxication, and no gambling. I have promised it. If I am gentleman, how can I break my promise? This is called jnana. With knowledge, one has no respect. One has to respect. This is called tapasya with knowledge. He said there are two kind of person who associate with the opposite sex, but they are not the same. He described the difference, grihamedi and grihastha. Grihastha means although he is living with wife and children, but he know what is aim of life, what is the grihastha ashram, and as a sannyasi knows what is the aim of life. Similarly, a grihastha also may know. So such grihastha sex life is allowed, who know the aim of life, and no one, sorry, and one who does not know the aim of life simply enjoys sex. He is called Griha Medi. These two words are there. In Sanskrit literature, every word has got particular meaning, particular thought. Therefore, it is called Samskrita, most performed and purified literature. Sanskrit. Sanskrit means purified. Sanskar, just like we offer samskara at the time of initiation, purifying. So our main problem is the sex life because sex life is the basic principle of material life. Prabhupada's 10 years of preaching to us non-Aryan, non-Aryans has given him a lot of particular civilization as to how difficult it is for people from our materialistic sex and money or oriented culture to become a little regulated and content. Yet he rescued, received us, urging us to go on and depend on Krishna. Everything is there. You have got books. You study and follow the practice. Be little sure. It is not that you will not be able. You will be able and you will help, and Krishna will help. As soon as you are very eager, then Krishna will help. Tisam sas tisam satata yuktanam brajatyam priti purvakam. To those who are continuously devoted and worship me with love. Bhagavad Gita 10.10. So, therefore, the deity worship is there. Along the deity worship, we would always pray, Krishna, kindly save me from the uh, pitfalls of Maya. He will do it. But if we want to cheat Krishna and cheat Guru, then we will be cheated. That's all. The Guru will not be cheated. Neither Krishna will be cheated. You will be cheated. That's all. If you wanted to be cheated, then do whatever you like and prolong your thing of repetition of birth and death, rather than planning to enjoy illicit sex or intoxication when we get money. Prabhupada argued as best thing is as soon as you get money, immediately you spend it for Krishna. Tyagena, charity. So if you make charity to Krishna, you can purchase Krishna. Yes, although Krishna is all powerful, proprietor, you can purchase Krishna. So do it. If you have if you have got any money, spend for Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Haribol.
Guruji, thank you. Next one, Andrea Mata.
A letter has come via Giriraja in Bombay from the Gita Foundation. Srila Prabhupada recently consented to become a member of their coordinating committee. Their aim is to promote closer contacts between groups and individuals engaged in Prachar, to provide a forum for discussion and coordinate their efforts. They intend to hold their next meeting on June 28, 1976 at Paunar, Maharashtra, and requested him to attend. Srila Prabhupada wrote back to the secretary, a prominent industrialist named Ramakrishna Bajaj, expressing his eagerness and participate. As you know, I am trying my best to preach the teachings of Bhagavad Gita all over the world, and I am experiencing some glimpse of success in this connection. Naturally, I am inclined to preach the teachings of Bhagavad Gita very fervently in India. India is the land of spiritual culture, but gradually India being influenced by material allurements, its spiritual culture is being forgotten. It is duty of the Indian leaders to note the degradation. There is no harm to become materially advanced, but if simply for material advancement we forget our spiritual basis, it will be a great loss. Therefore, I am also very eager to receive India's spiritual culture with the help of Gita Foundation. He went on to say, though it that would be difficult for him to attain because of his prior commitments. It would be possible but very expensive to interrupt his tour by flying to India and then return to the West. He requested Mr. Bajaj's advice and asked him to keep in touch via Giriraja Prabhu. Prabhupada discussed the matter with the Pushta Krishna. There were several possible alternatives. If the committee was willing to pay New York, London, Bombay return fares for himself and his two secretaries, he he would go since he doesn't want to miss the New York Ratha Jatra, although it would be difficult because of the distance and time spent traveling. More than 7 hours on a single flight would be too much. So the journey would have to be broken in London and possibly Tehran. Another possibility would be for Giriraja and Gopal Krishna Prabhus to attend on his behalf. Or a third alternative would be for the meeting to be rescheduled to coincide with his return to India on August 14th. However, he did not include this letter idea in his reply. They they are all important men, and it seemed from their letter that the arrangements were already set. Prabhupada doesn't want them to be put out. A rescheduling would actually be the best idea. So when Prishna Krishna Maharaja sent the letter to Giriraja for delivery, he included with it one of his own, addressed directly to Giriraja Prabhu. Therein he suggested, my personal desire for Srila Prabhupada was that perhaps they could be gently persuaded to reschedule his meeting for August 15th. When Prabhupada will be in Bombay, that is a Sunday. Prabhupada said that there are other members of the committee and perhaps it is too late to change their June 28th meeting. Do it needful and to us the report back to us the results. After all, Prabhupada can give them great guidance, and they have some desire to uplift the Indian people, and they know that Krishna has given the answers. Now they require two representatives to apply these things so that there will be success without any doubt. There was an emotional reunion this afternoon between Srila Prabhupada and Hayagriva Prabhu. Although he was one of Srila Prabhupada's first disciples, he has been away from devotional service for some years. He has come now to finish the philosophy book project and to be with Prabhupada for some time. He walked slowly into Prabhupada's room, his face flushed and his deep voice trembling. It's your old Hayagriva, Prabhupada, he choked out, and fell sobbing to the floor in full length dandavats. Prabhupada sat behind his desk. Prabhupada sat behind his desk, silent, but clearly moved by the slight of his sometimes wayward son. When Hayagiva got up, Prabhupada gave him a garland and remarked to Radha Vallava Dasa and me how Hayagriva had been sent by Krishna to help him spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. In reply, Hayagriva said that he had never forgotten Prabhupada, not even for a day. Prabhupada was deeply affected by this and said that he also had never forgotten Hayagriva. I was thinking, has Hayagriva gone away? I was thinking like that. His voice broke and he was unable to speak for a second. Although he tried to check his tears, still some trickled from the corners of his eyes.
माता जी,
Hari bol.
नेहा माता जी आपको रुकने के लिए बोल रहा है।
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Mata,
Hari bol.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Okay, Mataji. Next, Pratyay Prabhu.
Mother Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam sir. When
Hare Krishna.
Hayagriva got up, Mataji, when Hayagriva got up, Prabhupada gave him a garland and remarked to Radha Vallabha Dasa and me how Hayagriva had been sent by Krishna to help him spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. In reply, Hayagriva said that he had never forgotten Prabhupada, not even for a day. Prabhupada was deeply affected by this and said that he also had never forgotten Hayagriva. I was thinking, has Hayagriva gone away? I was thinking like that. His voice broke and he was unable to speak for a few seconds. Although he tried to check his tears, still some trickled from the corners of his eyes. Then he uh, tipped his head from side to side. All right, he said, and we all left. Prabhupada had so much affection for his disciple. No one can estimate how much it was very apparent, and that he never forgets any devotional service that has been rendered to him. May 15, 1976. Class was on one of Srila Prabhupada's most quoted Srimad Bhagavatam verses 6:115. It describes that un- ultimately only by the performance of Kevala Bhakti, pure unalloyed devotional service to Krishna, can the weeds of sinful action be destroyed without any possibility of their arising again. Niharam Eva Vasakara. Just as the sun just as the sun dissipates the fog. He told us that simply countering one type of karma with another type of karma will not help. It is only when we engage in unmotivated service to Lord Krishna and that we get the chance to become perfect and free. If you simply hear and chant, then you will be purified, he said, as if in answer to any doubt as to whether this alone is sufficient. He assured us it was. If you argue that somebody is hearing for so many years, So then there is a question of offense. Then 10 kinds of offenses. So even if one is in offense, still if he continues hearing and chanting, he will be purified. It is so nice thing. This is Kevala Bhakti. He went on to say that by simply fixing our minds on rendering service to Krishna without any motive, we are immediately liberated unless he changes his decision. Even one is mukta, liberated, he can also be fallen down unless he is very strong in his determination. Maya is always there. But if one is determined that I shall stick to the service of Krishna, Maya will not touch. As soon as one comes to his conclusion that Krishna is mine and I am Krishna's, by this consciousness, automatically all reaction of sinful life becomes worst. When there is fog, you try so many ways, it cannot go. Then somehow or other, if the sun rises, immediately clear. That is our motto in the Back to Godhead magazine. Godhead is light and nescience is darkness. Where there is Godhead, there is no jurisdiction of darkness. Although tapasya, celibacy, and charity has been recommended in the previous verse, he explained that in this age, these things were almost impossible to practice. Therefore, he concluded that the best thing is to take to Krishna consciousness. Simply this understanding that Krishna is my eternal master, I am Krishna's eternal servant. So let us exchange our feelings of master and servant. Then I shall be perfect. Pradyumna has been too ill. Pradyumna has been too ill to accompany Prabhupada on his morning walk, spending most of his time lying in pain on the floor. He has been suffering a great deal from his boils. The biggest on his right hip was neither diminishing nor coming to a head. The angry red mound was so swollen it took as though someone had stuffed a tennis ball under his skin. I was trying to I was trying to pursue him to give it another couple of days for the medicine to take effect when Srila Prabhupada come to see how he was. As soon as he was the condition as he saw the condition of the boils, he ordered him to go at once to the doctor and get them lanced. Pradyumna limped out, uh, hobbling back later on crutches. The doctor at the clinic he had immediately put him on the operating table and cut open his hip. A reddish green pus burst forth, sparing the entire room. It took a full 15 minutes to clean the incision, which was half an inch deep, a quarter inch wide, and about 5 inches long. He hadn't been far off from contracting. Uh, was this pronunciation
Namji
gangrene?
gangrene.
gangrene. The timelines of Prabhupada's advice impressed upon us once again that he knows exactly what to do in all circumstances. A telegram arrived today. It read, my head at your feet. Stop under the circumstances. My only recourse is to resign as GBC. Stop, please allow me to remain serving you in some humble way. Top letter to follow. It was signed simply Madhu Madhudvisha. It appeared to be a confirmation of the recent suspicions that he was experiencing personal difficulty in his sadhana and associating with a brahmacharini in Australia. Prabhupada said that circumstantially, at least, he appeared to have fallen down. Prabhupada wanted to respond by telegram immediately, but there was a problem. Madhudvisha's telegram was sent from Brooklyn and bore no return address. He had left the temple and no one knew where to send the telegram. Eventually, in the early afternoon, Pusta Krishna sent Prabhupada's reply to the temple. It would be better if you come to Hawaii, Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Tamal Krishna Goswami called and explained that he had privately confronted Madhudeshwa with the letter that had been found in Australia. Madhudesha first denied having written it, but then, after having been informed that Srila Prabhupada knew of the situation, said he wanted to fly to Hawaii to see Srila Prabhupada. The devotees gave him $500 for his fare and dropped him off at the New York airport, but he hasn't been since. Krishna Maharaja spent a long time on the phone in the evening, informing all the temple in Madhudvesha zone on the east coast that he has fallen and he is no longer the GBC. However, when he came in to report his action to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada was angry. Prabhupada was made aware of the initial suspicion or in Australia, but his idea had been kept the affair quiet until he reached New York, where he could see Madhudvesa personally and attempt to clear everything up without a scandal. He wanted to save him, and he was upset that that news of Madhudvesa fall down was now whispered. He revoked Uttap Krishna. Now you have made it impossible for him to return. He was also angry with Guru Kripa Swami that Guru Kripa, I told him not to tell anyone, although Prabhupada found no fault in Tamal Krishna's approaching Madhudesha because he had done it as a friend. He said that Guru Kripa had disobeyed him by discussing it with Tamal. Prabhupada was unhappy that they had acted without first informing him of their intention. Yet he considered there was a great possibility that Madhudesha would have left anyway because of his inactivity in devotional service. With great regret, he said that this was his god brother's main complaint, that Westerners cannot maintain the sannyasrama. He recalled how his German godbrother caused disruption by his nonsense dealings with women. In the evening, I had a few words alone with Srila Prabhupada about the whole affair. Introspective, he has spoken very little about it. Madhudvisa has long been one of his top men. His fall down has come as a blow. It is it is obvious, despite his not dis- displaying much external emotion, that Prabhupada is greatly concerned about the loss of one of his best disciples. His affection for Madhudvisa and appreciation for all his service, not uh, notwithstanding, it is also yet another uh, managerial headache. He is greatly disturbed that even the main man whom he has so patiently trained up are still falling down. His hope of retiring from active management is now once again thrown into doubt. With a sober look, he said, residently, "What can I do? I am working with all third-class men, fools and rascals. Things are going on simply by Krishna's mercy. The incident has shown me even more the expertise of His divine grace in engaging all classes of men in devotional service and in making the best use of whatever little facility is given. Whatever strength is this movement has lies in Him. Even with inadequate and unqualified manpower, he is showing that one can nevertheless be eminently successful spreading Krishna consciousness if he is sincere and surrendered to Lord Krishna. Haribol Mata.
Prabhuji, read the last paragraph, please.
Okay, okay, Mata. Despite the disruption of the day, Srila Prabhupada and Hayagriva discussed the philosophies of Socrates and Plato for 2.5 hours this evening, and afterwards Prabhupada went straight into his translation work, detecting throughout the night and notching up another 315 digits on the dictaphone. Hari Bol Mata.
So let's end this.